David Willey, welcome back to Northampton.
Cheers, thanks. Good
How
to be
is
back.
it?
Yeah, it's great to be
Yeah?
back. This place got a real special place in my heart. I grew up here. My dad played here. On this outfield, in the days that you could play on the outfield as a kid, I spent a lot of my youth here.
I don't think you'd have played much on the outfield yesterday, looking at the size of the puddles that we had.
The weather came down pretty bad yesterday,
Yeah.
but it looks like it's drying up nicely.
Absolutely. Much changed at Wantage Road since you were last here?
Not a great deal, to be honest.
No?
Some new dressing rooms gone in, but a lot of it's very much the same, which I quite like. I actually quite like the idea of the old dressing room still being there, and my spot from 8 years ago. But no, they've done a fantastic job.
Have you got your spot back?
Well, it's completely been reshaped and changed, so it's very different. It's very good. But the sentimental side of me, I would have liked it to have been the same.
Love it. And how's your winter been?
It's been good. I think the schedule, the global schedule, is pretty hectic now. So, obviously being part of that World Cup was pretty special for me and my family, and took some time out as well. Missed a couple of competitions and things to make sure I'm balancing work and family time. So it's been a good winter, and then obviously disappointing to come back from the IPL early. I've really enjoyed my time there, and the experience and the players you rub shoulders with and opportunities to learn is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but the flip side of that is I'm back here earlier than I expected, and looking forward to the challenges ahead.
Well, you didn't bring the weather back with you, did you?
No, I certainly didn't.
So you're coming back, well, I guess congratulations on the captaincy. Coming back to lead this Northampton squad in the T20 Blast. A couple of the lads really stood out with good performances last year. I think Safe scored over 300 runs, striking at 150. Sanderson took a hatful of wickets as well last season. How have the lads been with you coming back into the dressing room, and any of the lads that kind of stand out, guys that you're looking forward to playing with?
Yeah, obviously absolutely delighted to be captain at Northants, as I said before, that sentimental side of things, but also from a personal point of view, hopefully I can bring some of that knowledge I've had from different franchises, different counties, and bring some of that back here and help every person in the dressing room and the club as a whole. So I'm looking forward to the challenge ahead. Obviously coming in a couple of weeks before the Blast starts presents some challenges, but getting stuck into it as soon as possible. And I think we've got a great side. We've got some match winners there individually, but as a collective, I think we're shaping up really nicely, and we should be able to put on a show here.
Yeah. Any players when you were away at Yorkshire that you kind of looked at in the Northampton squad and you thought, I don't fancy bowling to you, or I don't fancy batting against you?
No, look, I think if Northants have always had a very strong side in T20 cricket. Obviously, Linney went exceptionally well last year. Safe had a sort of breakthrough season, so he'll be looking to build on that. And I think that probably this thing they've struggled with is that consistency in the past, which I think is really going to be a focus for this year, about how we go about our business to make sure we are more consistent and then build towards the back end of the competition. I think at this stage of my career, it's really good for me personally to have my focus being on other people, not just my own game. And I've really enjoyed that side of it, actually, being able to help other people. And I think that's part of really what I want my focus to be here on. The young lads, particularly, hoping to help them grow and take their game forward. And I'd love nothing more in a few years' time for me not be able to make the side, because these young lads at Northants have come through and taken my spot. So I'm looking forward to the challenge ahead, and I think there are some things from a cricket point of view that we can do differently, and our sort of attitudes and how we're going about our business, we can make some small changes which I hope bring that consistency I've talked about.
Because you would have played with under two of probably the greatest captains of the modern era anyway, with Owen Morgan with your England side of it, and then at Chennai with MS Dhoni as well. Can you look back at those times and take things that those two amazing leaders that would have kind of shared with you and bring them into your own captaincy? Yeah,
absolutely. I think I'd like to think that's something that I will bring and be able to draw from my experience of playing cricket around the world under not only great captains but also great coaches and management and also how environments are set up and people go about their business. And for me, it's not just about the runs and wickets, but also how we're looking to improve as a collective, individuals and as a club as well. And that's not just for these couple of years or this season. It's it's beyond that. So I think I've got to be authentic to myself. But there's certainly things you pick up over the years and from your experiences that you think, oh, that's brilliant. I want to bring that to the way I'd like to lead a team. And some of these guys probably know me from 8 years ago when I was here previously, and I was pretty immature. I got some things wrong. I think a lot of my intentions were very good then, but through my immaturity, the way I put things across or express them were probably wrong. And I think through my journey of disappointment, the highs and lows of my career, I hope I can empathise with people, and if there is something that needs to be addressed, I can do it in a constructive manner. So it's been a great journey for me over the years, around the world with England. The good and bad bits, being left out of the 19 World Cup and so on, but there's been some great bits too.
Yeah. It's great to kind of hear you look back on everything and talk about it so openly as well, which is really nice to hear. And I'm sure from everybody that's going to be turning up here during the summer, it's refreshing to hear that from a professional as well, to kind of be so open about your experiences. But I know the club have sold more season tickets than they ever have before with the T20 Blast as we come round. So I think what's been dubbed as Rowdy Corner, I think. How exciting is it again for you to play in front of the fans again? Guys that have missed you for a few years.
Look, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, we've played a few games here as an opposition over the years, and it was just in front of this cinch board here that I actually got beer thrown at me when I first went to Yorkshire. So I'm looking forward to coming back. Hopefully I get a bit of a warmer welcome this year. But,
I hope so.
But yeah, to come back, and as I said, obviously I want to perform well on the field, but hopefully I can, contribute to a lot of other aspects of the club and the team that I can use my experiences to help other people.
Yeah. Definitely a loaded question because I've had a bit of a tip-off here, but if you could add 3 things to Wantage Road on a Blast night, David Willey's got the checkbook. Add anything you want. What are you going for?
Well, it'd be nice if we could stick another 30,000 people in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I did say open checkbook. So
we're going to need to probably take all these houses and and stuff. So yeah, look, there's nothing better than playing in a packed house, and the more fans, the better. And so that would be one thing.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, let's stop here for a second because we want to talk about your overseas players. Chris Lynn comes back for a second season, scored a couple of hundreds last year, and deposited a few cricket balls into those houses that way, hence why we've stopped. Have you played much with Chris in the past? You obviously would have played against him last summer. Some guy that I guess you must be thrilled to have back in the ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a great bit of business from the club last year. There was a guy there, I think he'd lost his BBL contract and he had a lot to prove. So I think that's one of the things with smaller clubs. You've got to do good business with overseas signing, and he was a prime example of some good work there. So obviously a formidable player and wins games single-handedly, so it's great to have him back. Again, he's someone that's played all around the world. He's a great asset to the dressing room as well. I think that's really important with overseas, that you not only get somebody that's going to win you games of cricket, but can also help the dressing room and the guys coming through. So it's about adding value in all aspects, and he does that. I played with him at Superchargers for 2 seasons. One season, but yeah, look, he was great. I did a bit of captaincy for Superchargers as well and lent on him a bit, and he was great to work with, so I'm looking forward to that relationship growing and being out in the middle with him.
Brilliant. And then AJ Tye as well, experienced Australian seamer, kind of feels like he's played for an awful lot of counties. So much experience. I think.
Are you calling him a journeyman?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm saying experienced. So again, another brilliant lad to kind of bring into the team and bolster the ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. I played with AJ at Perth Scorchers for 4 years, so I know him quite well. So it's nice to have those relationships that are already there. And I think something that they struggled with at Northants last year was their bowling. So hopefully AJ and myself can add to that. And I think what we've got nice this year is a really nice variety in that bowling attack. And with my captaincy hat on, that's something that I really like to have, that we've got some different variety in the way people go about it, different angles, slightly different range in pace as well. So yeah, I think that's both of those signings are fantastic for the club, and it's probably no surprise that they've sold so many season tickets this year, and the club do a great job of making the T20 Blast such a good product here, and it is a great place to play, and the entertainment's fantastic.
Back to Northants then. Load of youngsters in the squad. Left arm, Risty, Freddie Heldrick, James Sales as well. Is there any of the youngsters that you kind of look at and you think, oh yeah, these boys are, not to put any pressure on them, but like really think they're heading the right direction and going to have a good season?
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot of fantastic talent just being around the last few days. There's some brilliant talent there, and there we go. Hazard perception as well here. No, look, I think there's some brilliant young talent at the club, and I think one of the things that I've seen in the last few days is what's going to be really important for them is the way they practice and the way they grow their game, the conversations they have to really excel their game and make that step up. And I think having those senior players, those guys that have played a lot of cricket around the world, are really going to help those guys. And when they get their opportunity, hopefully we can take the pressure off them and give them the freedom to go out and play.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck this season as well.
Thank you. Cheers.